And yes, we are back. This discussion is very interesting. The fact that now I've realized I can still make money with my phone and as much money as I make in a month. You can imagine, in a day. You know, something is very funny here. Someone makes your salary in a day, on a good day, in 1 hour. And surprisingly, doing a job that is kind of related to yours. So it goes back to working smart. We are Smart 24 TV, and I'm definitely here to drive the business. Ours is dedicated to drive your businesses. You can reach out to us anything to do with business. Well, let's continue with discussions regarding social media. I think every other week we have something that is trending. On a time when you feel there is Kakwenza trending, then you'll hear OCDK. Then you ask yourself, where do these things come from? When you visit your timeline on Twitter, you're going to see all these trends, and you'll see almost 5 trends in there, and you're going to see kind of familiar names still tweeting something about this. Where do we get these trends from, and how does everything start?
We make the trends. We make them happen.
Okay.
Okay, it may be business or just fun vibes, like that OCDK thing. I think it's Santo who started that. I don't know whether it was Santo or Laban, something like that, but he just started, just wrote OCDK, and then like everyone jumped on it, and it was trending for like a very long time. I think, wasn't there like a song made?
There was a song already.
Yeah, but then like most of those people who create songs actually get their lines from Twitter, because I mean, you post these things, they enjoy, and they go ahead and sing about them.
Now, John, let's talk about the trends. How do the trends come up? Like, does someone just think of just tweeting?
Actually, most of these trends come from short videos, short funny videos we get from TV. You know, like most of these famous politicians, they could be
making famous lines.
Like for example,
Asadu. Asadu somewhere.
Let me say, for example, Katolo Wama can come up and you know, remember that trend where they're like, sawa, you know, mkazi akorachi, achuka, and it was trending on Twitter everywhere. It's most of these short videos that most of these big personalities in the country, yeah, they make those short videos, and we find those words are very catchy, yeah? And then we use them. That's why even artists end up making songs out of them, and that's how but all in all, we make them trend.
Yeah, sometimes it's business. Like there are clients who want to trend, they want their products all over the place. So they pay us and shout and make noise about them. So at the end of the day, they're trending because they probably hired a few influencers to push their product.
We could make Smart 24 trend.
Yeah,
Okay, I've seen that coming.
And Smart 24 will be #1 up there.
I've actually seen that coming, and I wanted us to actually have this discussion immediately after the show. How does it happen? By the way, you've talked about making people and individuals trend.
Yeah.
There have actually been situations where we've got these reports coming in that in most cases, even musicians look for you people just to make maybe a negative story, because they believe that is the only way they're going to make
come out.
Yes, they're going to come out.
That's
How
very
true is
true.
that?
It's very true. Like, people want to trend in different ways. Here is the thing. Whether you trend positively or negatively,
As long as people are
you're
hearing you
trending
somewhere.
and you're out there. People know, you know, Shiba still exists. Like, I'm just giving an example, but like, they pay for that kind of engagement.
There is no bad PR, by the way.
True.
That's it.
If at all people are going to still hear anything wrong,
There is
know
what we
that
call
you still
controversial
Of course.
marketing. Controversial marketing is when you tell your influencer, for example, I want you to come attacking, like talking negative about this
kind of
product.
thing, yeah.
Or maybe it could be a product, it could be a service, or it could be a campaign. Now, when you talk negatively about it, to get people talking.
Of course.
And you know, influencers, you know, in
And the
Twitter,
thing is,
Bangalore
people
News
jump
was-
onto something, anything that is trending. You just talk about something, if it's controversial or it makes news,
Yeah.
people jump on
People
it.
just-
And when you see more influencers on something, someone else will talk about it, even if they're not like
Exactly.
so big on the timeline. They will just jump on it because it gives them, like, they can share their opinion.
Okay.
So it's a good thing for them.
Let's look at the challenges that we have. Social media influencers, I do believe, like any other venture that you're into, you face challenges.
Of course.
Sure.
I've had a lot of people talking about mental depression, situations of depression
big
maybe
thing.
sometimes become very, very challenging to some people. More so if someone cannot actually settle down with this situation. Let's look at those challenges and how have you people overcome them?
Okay. Personally, when I just not when I just joined actually. I've been on Twitter like since 2017. Yeah, 2017. But then it was all good and all that. But I think like 2 years back, I had a challenge on the timeline, and then like everyone came at me. They said so many things, like big things. Some people are abusing me. Sometimes you see people who you think are actually your friends, and then they're coming against you. So it's a bit sad. I was so depressed. Like I was really so sad. That's it. I was sad. I think I cried. I don't know, but I think I did. So those things happen because there's so many bullies and trolls on the timeline. Everyone has their opinion and they're ready to share it whether you want or not. And some people end up killing themselves with the suicide things we've heard on the timeline. Like there's some people who have committed suicide and we knew them, like they were on Twitter. But because there was body shaming, she posted her picture and someone said so many things about it, she ended up killing herself. Those things really happen. But as an influencer, I think I learned to ignore.
Okay.
Because this is my workplace. I've given this example before. Social media is my workplace. The same way this is your workplace. Not everyone is going to like you.
True.
And everyone is going to fight you. Like there are people who are fighting to take your place. So you either ignore them and come to work every day and do your thing, or you're going to end up fighting with them on a daily. So that's what I chose. I ignore. People come at you, they say, you look like this, why are you posting this, why are you talking like this? But at the end of the day, you know you're making money from this workplace of yours. So you either let it go or you just end up fighting.
Lon, let's talk about the challenges you've encountered. For the time you've been doing this, and sometimes maybe you felt like, can I just get off?
You know, they say social media can either make you or break you.
True.
But you need to be with some thick skin to be able to withstand or manage being on these social media platforms, because there are very many types or kinds of people that are on these platforms. There are those who are bullies, especially like she said, there are a lot of bullies on social media. There is that button, it's called the block button. Make good use of it.
Why?
Yes.
Oh, why do people block others?
If someone is, you see someone is coming at you and it's affecting your mental health,
It's toxic.
don't even quote them, don't reply them.
Just block.
Just go on their bio, click block.
And you know what's
It is
funny?
as simple as that.
These are the very people who are always asking us to follow them.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God, Matthew,
Follow
me,
back.
follow
And
me.
they never come
When you
for,
follow them,
when they see that probably maybe you're growing numbers, you're becoming maybe you're growing your numbers on the app, they want to
They
come
just want
and
to fight.
put you down.
and when they fight with you, it gives them engagement.
Exactly.
If you
They
reply,
use
if you
you
respond,
to
yes,
get
they
up.
use you. You can
I've
just
actually got
attack.
to realize that it's with social media when you realize you don't have friends at all.
No, you don't.
Someone can
Actually, it's
engage
true.
in a trend that is actually putting you down,
Yes.
and they're actually enjoying the situation that you're being brought down.
You find them in the comment section.
Laughing.
And then you wonder, this is my friend.
This I thought
Sabula.
Tura was my friend, and he's saying Sabula. You get. That's why, as I told you previously, you know, you don't have to make everyone on social media your friend. Though you have
They're
to grow your
not your
socials,
friend.
but you have to
They're
see.
just people who follow you, they like your content,
Yeah,
and sometimes
exactly.
they don't. So
And sometimes these things are quite ironical, by the way. If you have to look at a very huge journey that we've actually been taking since 2013, when the country decided that we can actually go digital. We are trying as much as we can this very year to see the economy recovering. Most of the economies are turning digital. In Ghana, they actually got themselves, and they actually have an e-passport. Uganda is also phasing out the old old readable passports. Now we are going to go for electronic. If you're to look at that, everything is turning digital. 2015, digital migration hit us. Around 2017, we got OTT. Fast forward 2021, we had issues to do with government bringing taxation on internet, and now it is actually direct. Once you buy data, it hits you directly. Now, this question is actually going to these people here. They use social media a lot. We've seen here as they actually started, MTN decided to actually add some internet bundles onto the previous ones they had. Now, let's look at that internet drama. The internet charges are quite high. Uganda has the highest internet. If you're to look at the situation, Rwanda here got Wi-Fi very recently here. Then Tanzania, cheap internet. People will stream any day, anytime.
True.
Have these charges whatsoever affected the activities of a social media influencer?
In my opinion, they definitely have, though not to a great extent, because me personally, I'm a phone addict. Sometimes I don't even feel the pinch of the internet.
You just scroll down and...
I think, okay, let me maybe say something on that. It's internet. Okay, like Lon said, I don't think personally I'm affected by internet and the charges, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much it is, I need to have it. Like, that's the thing. I don't feel it so much, because to me it's something I really need. It's a necessity. I have to have it. So I've never really had any issues with internet. But of course it affects people. If you're like trying to use social media, it's an effect to your business and all those things, because sometimes you can't access the data, and then it affects the way you load your pictures or you talk to your followers.
And for those that are actually catching up the show, there's some word that I've actually seen training all the time. Tokole ntondo or jakuloga. Because some of you may be saying now, these guys here are trying to send Bobo internet. But they're used to the situation.
So actually we got used. At first, it really pressed us, but you know you have to cope with change.
Like, here is the thing. I may not have food at home, but I have to have data on my phone. I'm trying to like give an example of how much I need it, and it doesn't matter how much it's going to cost me.
You know, I've actually also seen that in most cases, if you find someone who's addicted to alcohol, they will still have money to at least buy a bottle. Regardless of the situation, or whether he has rent to clear. So they will need to have that 5,000 for at least a bottle.
Those are the stories you hear. The guy did not leave money for food at home for the children, but he has his money for alcohol.
I still don't know how the things work, by the way. And he can actually have 100,000 with him. But that is
he will
with
not
the boys you're
spare
supposed to
10k like this
for
food.
Hey, well, we are going to be going into some future prospect here, a future prospect of the Uganda Revenue Authority taxing these people here. But before we go there, Maitha, how do you normally plan for these events that you normally get the gigs?
The gigs, I get gigs from like different people. Initially, when I just like started doing social media, I would DM my friends and ask them, I want a gig, I can do this, I can do this. But lately, I have done so much the years back, and I have references. People just like recommend, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do this. Like, it's how I'm getting my gigs and all that. But then there's also this other option of you apply to a certain business, you want to work with them, you feel like you can do well with their product, so you choose to make your proposal and they think about it, whether they can get you or not. So most of the times it's references, or you apply for those gigs. Or people DM, like they come to your Twitter and they're like, I have this deal, can you do this? Can we work together? Stuff like that. Yeah, that's how I get my gigs.
Have you ever got your account suspended? Or have you ever lost your account?
Oh my God, I pray for my Twitter account each and every day. I think that is why it has never been suspended. I cover it with the blood of Jesus. Nothing will ever happen to it. It is so bad when your account gets suspended, like so bad. It's like losing your job. You would not want to lose your job. So that is exactly what someone feels when they lose their account and they've been doing business there.
I've actually been seeing is it DJ Lennon getting his account suspended like a couple of times.
This is the second time.
It's the second time.
Yeah,
I thought it was the
it's
first.
like I was telling you previously, like Twitter has rules. You know, you can break the rules without knowing.
He said something like,
Yeah, I'll break your leg.
I'll break your leg. Like,
And he was joking. He was like,
it was a
you know,
joke.
like,
the way
I'll
you, like,
break
talk to
your
your
leg.
friends. Yeah.
But he was joking, and Twitter
And
does
then
not
Twitter
know about
doesn't
that.
know whether you're joking or not, so it just like cuts down.
So they chop you.
You have to be careful with what you post. It's not like Instagram where you just
Yeah.
post anything or any other app. Twitter is like so serious.
You have to avoid being in trolls and stuff, because you
Saying
could easily
this-
get angry
and then you say something.
very sensitive. That's why you never have to reply to people who annoy you on social media, especially Twitter.
Very true. And when you look at, I do believe Ugandans do have problems, by the way. Ugandans do have problems. And they are very eager to throw their problems onto you, regardless of whether you have done completely nothing to them. You'll just find someone out there throwing insults directly to you, and then you're like, now what did I do? So mainly, and Ugandans don't like people who are peaceful. I still don't know why. And I still find it quite
Violence.
challenging for people to actually live a
They
peaceful
enjoy
life in
They
Uganda.
love violence.
You see, most of the times Twitter, there's nothing going on, and then people are like, what's happening today? There's nothing going on. Twitter is boring today. It's because there's no fight. No one is fighting with the other, so they're not having fun.
At least
They
enjoy
enjoy-
it when people are fighting.
They always
Yes.
want to see blood on the floor.
let's look at this. Figures here coming in from reports here show that Twitter has more users, active users in Uganda than any other platform in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I think Twitter users grew during the time when Facebook was down, most especially because people would not access Facebook, even with the whole VPN thing. Like, it was a whole process joining Facebook and all that. So at the end of the day, someone's like, let me try out Twitter. Like, there are those people who had failed to use the app, but here is the time when they have no option. So they come to Twitter, and yeah, I really believe the numbers have gone up for Twitter.
Let me also take a look at this. How do you people get these numbers? Very overwhelming. I was looking at some, we've had Nigerian artists here in the country, and most of them don't even have a very huge following.
Yeah,
as that of some of the
I
social media.
noticed many influencers have more
More
followers,
followers.
than Chike. You know, like Chike.
And
was
even
really-
his Ruga artist
Even
was here
Ruga.
as well.
Yeah.
And then I even do believe Lone Child has got more than that. I was throwing in a simple comparison with someone here. And I was like, now, why do we overhype these people? If even our own Ugandans here are having these huge numbers, how do people get these numbers? How do you grow them?
I think you just have to give the app time. Any other social media app, to grow the numbers, you have to give the app time. You have to, for example, on Twitter, first of all, you have to understand, you have to choose the niche that you want to communicate to. Let's say, for example, you love being funny. You start doing your funny tweets, and people who love your funny tweets will definitely come and follow you. But you have to be consistent. The more consistent you are, the more the following comes. That's why you see I have a bigger following than Chike. But not because I'm more famous or more popular than Chike, because he does not use the app that
In a
much.
day, Lon can make like 20 posts.
Yeah.
And then Chike has not made a day in a...
You can
He
spend
didn't
a
make
whole
any
week
posts.
without making any posts.
So the engagements are very important.
Yeah, the engagements are very important. With Twitter, it's engagement. Yeah.
Let's talk about the issue of losing followers. The times when I had almost 3,000, there's a very few, but then
You woke up?
very few now. I woke up and I have around 2,000.
You're
Now
not-
No, that's
I have
Twitter.
1,500.
Twitter does that, but you're not active.
He's
When
not
you're
active.
not active, people unfollow you. So you just have to keep posting.
So there's a point, even me myself, I have people who unfollow me. But the fact that I'm active,
You
I
keep-
have more
you don't
people who
notice it,
follow me
actually.
than those who unfollow me. So I don't
Yes.
realize that people have unfollowed
Also,
me.
Twitter does that. There's
The
a shadow
Twitter
ban
purge.
thing they do. I think it's the purge, yes. They cut down users that are not active.
Purge. Now let's talk about the real purge. The Uganda Revenue Authority, Lone Child is one of those influencers for URA. To be precise, URFC. I've seen him wearing a number of jerseys, blue, yellow. I think everywhere they go, Lone Child is there with URA. Now this time on, he's going to fill this particular one. Lone Child, URA has this. Now, like, I don't believe, like, we had a conversation here off air. I was talking about the issue that once government realizes that there is money there, we have to tax it. So we have to collect some money to help in national building. We're in a year of economic recovery.
I don't think it's necessary.
Do you at any one point think it's good for the government to actually say, Methia, if you get your 1 million, you're giving us 100K. Loan, if you get your 2, please give us 500 or maybe 200.
It's a lot of money. We already pay for the data that we use, and we are taxed for that data, right?
Good point.
So what other taxing do they want?
Actually, they're already taxing us. Because for us to run our business online, we buy data, right?
True.
And that data is already taxed.
And we used to pay taxes.
So what more do you want from us? We're already buying the data. Where are you getting your taxes from?
So should the people giving you the gigs pay that tax for you?
No, but then this is what happens actually.
There are some gigs that are taxed by the way.
Some gigs are taxed. Like before the client gives you your payment, they cut off the taxes. It's been happening in some of the gigs.
You sign a contract and
we are literally.
They're already saying you're supposed to be getting 800,000, but now there is
when your payment comes, you probably
that amount they chop.
Lose some of the money.
Well, as we're summing up with this discussion, I believe after we get off air here, we're going to be talking about how these people are going to make this station trend. We need these numbers though. Greatly. Our social media platforms: Twitter, Smart24TV; Facebook, Smart24TV; Instagram is Smart24TV. The website is www.smart24tv.com. I'm Joran Paul Song on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We have a YouTube channel. If at all you want to catch up with more of the business stories, reports as well, please do catch up with that, and let's drive businesses. Let's engage in terms of businesses. We are not going to engage in vibes and all that. Let's try to sum up this discussion. Your final remarks, Lone Child,
yes,
regarding this issue of social media influencers. Any things that you can actually tell the people?
Yeah, I would love to encourage everyone out there to join social media. Grow your numbers is really, really important, especially for those that if you look at yourself as a self-employed person, you need to really make good use of social media because it will help you grow your business and marketing it. So I would love to tell everyone out there to join. And also don't misuse social media, guys. Don't misuse it. Yeah, because social media, those who use it well and those who use it wrongly. So I would advise you guys to use it the right way.
All right, now I do have someone on Zoom now. He's going to give us only 3 minutes of this discussion. He wants to chip in a little bit to talk about the issue of taxation. I don't know whether he can hear me. Turiamusima, can you hear me?
My name is Felix Turiamusima. You guys can hear me?
Do I have him? I don't know. I'm trying to get him, and he gives us his verdict on this matter. He believes that there is something negative. I hope he doesn't say anything. All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Can you hear me?
I can hear. Can you hear me, guys? I'm really sorry. I'm losing feed.
Getting you here, we are not hearing anything from you. I don't know if you can check your internet connection, or you can as well check your audio so that we can ably get to understand what you're discussing.
Well, I can get you guys. Good morning, everyone. The Lone Child Methia. About social media influencer attacks. First of all, we need to understand who is an influencer. An influencer is by this person who got lucky, got a big following on any social media application, and by luck, he also got deals from different brands, and by maybe pushing on content, and he can finally earn, or she can earn from their sites. Now, about the tax, it will be hard to know who is an who is a taxable influencer. not all that have big following are doing gigs. There are people who are doing gigs at maybe from Twitter with 10,000 followers, while others with 50,000 followers are not doing any gig. So it will be tricky for URA to say, let's tax this one or let's leave this one aside. Another thing, it's like maybe milking what you've not been feeding. Growing accounts take time, loading data every day in and in, then you push content to get following. And also the government is doing less input than what they want to get out of the economy. Consider the tax base. How many influencers are in Uganda? You're going to put in a lot of tax administration and then replace. A year later, you drop the tax down. Also, we have been 2 years of internet suppression. Facebook has been down for a year and plus month. And also look at the OTT tax. We have been here and there running. There is a lot of restriction than regulation. How I wish the government can look at regulating a few things than restricting internet access. So let's, we need maybe, I've not seen the URA maybe holding influencers, maybe we can say town hall, stakeholder meeting, to hear from influencers, to know how much money do we earn from gig economy. You may be doing a gig of 20,000 and then URA wants 15,000. You used your data maybe of 2,000 shillings. How much am I going to take home? It doesn't work out. So it's like we are reaping, they want to reap a sector which has not yet ripened. We are not yet at the prime stage where the gig economy should be subjected to taxation.
With matters to do with, you actually talked about you can't milk a cow that you've not been feeding. Ooh, big statement there. And thank you very much for that submission. I do believe any one point, very vital information there that you've actually addressed, a very critical issue. You've actually mentioned that you're not at the right time or you have not ripened yet. But normally some of us who've actually grown up in the villages, we never wait for a mango to ripen. If at all you're hungry and you've seen it on the tree, you hit it. Mathia, your last submission as we're actually heading up with this discussion.
I heard him say something like, we got lucky. I don't know if I heard that word, but I did. We did not get lucky. We actually worked so hard to be where we are. Like, you put in a lot. There are times you feel like you want to give up, but at the end of the day, this is where you're making your money. This is where you're earning from. So the fact that we didn't give up is the reason we are here. We did not get lucky. You work each and every day. You try to put up posts on Twitter, Instagram, to just make your accounts active, so that at the end of the day, they can actually make money for you. So whoever is out there, please just stay consistent and you'll make it.
All right, and if I told you you've missed this discussion and you've just come up, we're going to we're actually going to have this on our YouTube channel. You can keep up with the discussion here. I've had Lone Child, Bala. Get the name right? I got the name right, huh? Yeah. I guess Mathia Lydia now.
He's actually my OG.
He's your...
Sorry, my OB.
He's your OB. From Seroma.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I had a sister going at Seroma previously, before things got...
Yeah.
Well, for that, Mathia Lydia Nava has been here with us. She's a YouTuber as well. She is a social media influencer. The other gentleman is into tours and travel, so you can easily see how these people have actually been growing bigger. With that, Smart Means Business says it's a goodbye for now. Till then.